The weight of sadness. What is the internet weigh? This was an article in Discover magazine in 2007. I'll link it if the link still works. 2007, is that a long time ago now? Someone wanted to weigh the internet, all the electrons zooming around, making up all of the data that we see. They came up with a weight so tiny it was hard to represent in numbers. To quote, taking Holiday's 40 petabyte figure and plugging it to the same formula that we worked out for our 50 kilobyte email results in a grand total of 1.3 times 10 to the negative 8 pounds. At last, after much scribbling and perhaps a little cursing, we had our answer. The weight of the internet adds up to just about 0.2 millionths of an ounce. I'm trying to remember. Symmetry magazine, 2013. Sadness can't be represented as a mass or a weight in numbers for a different reason, because it's not a thing. But it still drags us down, makes us heavy, slows our steps and our thoughts like a backpack full of lead. Yesterday was pretty great. I led a reflection, an exercise in sadness with some visitors for a psychotherapy retreat. I shared some of my writing and my writing process and how important it is for me to cry. And I cried for people. When they did their own work, by and large, they also wrote things that made them tearful. It was an amazing experience of trust, like a trust fall over hot coals. Some were able to reveal what they had written and hear genuine love from people who heard it. Others, because of time, had to keep their papers hidden, although the marks of tears through their makeup told the whole story. As the group broke up, I asked participants to pay attention later to the appearance of colors and to the quality of laughter as we went through later experiences. And at lunch, the conversation was buoyant, ebullient, raucous even, in a way it had not been on other days. We did not produce sadness in our session. It was always there, always with us. We did not become sad, we already were. Our outward affect at the beginning of the group was a mix of colors, red, green, blue, yellow, purple, but we focused on the blue, talked about it, tried it on, wore it around, intellectualized it, yeah, but also lived blue, experienced and vivified it. All the other colors seemed to fade. Blue washed out the world for our time together. Then when this job of work was done, this piece of exultant weeping, the heaviness of grief that had always been there on our shoulders was lessened. Not permanently, not gone completely, but lessened. And then all the other aspects of our emotional lives had more room. Sadness wasn't begging for our attention anymore. It had been gazed at, acknowledged, loved. Now it could back away a pace. So we laughed, saw the bright colors, even sang, "The blue will creep back in. Of course it will. And what good would life be without it? What kind of person never feels sad?" But sadness and joy are essentially the same thing. We lived the sadness, and now we can live the joy, at least for a little while. Maybe that's why we like sad movies so much. We go to tearjerkers, give up some salt from our eyes, give water to the dead, as it were, and return to real life with some of that weight set aside, if only for an hour or a day. And sadness is like your inbox at work. In the morning when it's full and overflowing, you can't face it. It's only when you're all caught up that it seems sane to look at the next piece of work and the next, to not rush through sadness in a panic, but to dwell on the import of this moment, of this heavy sigh, of this unexpected tear.